From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football. The Bethel Bruins and the Hampton Crabbers. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Darling Stadium for this battle between the unbeaten Bethel Bruins, 3-0, and the similarly unbeaten Hampton Crabbers, also 3-0. Bob, these are the two last undefeated teams in the Peninsula District. This is a battle for first place. It should be a good one.
Well, it will be a good one, and I talked to Tracy Parker before I interviewed him, and I said, Tracy, is this your best start? And he says, I think my first year, he says, no, we were 2-0 before we lost. So 3-0 is the best start they've had at Bethel since Tracy's been there. They bring a lot of stuff to the game, and one of the young men that they bring to the game that I think is an outstanding ball player is Ananias Boyd, the running back. Good runner, he's a scat back type of runner, but Hampton's defense is tough.
Now, this game, of course, was our inaugural game 21 years ago as we start our 21st season here, actually 3 games into it. But this used to be the game. You know, this was the game that replaced the Hampton Newport News Crabbers Typhoon contest on Thanksgiving Day.
Absolutely.
For a long time, this was the game that everyone pointed at toward the end of the season, and of course we did as well. But now with the schedule and the change over the years, that's not the case anymore. But this is very important because Phoebus has lost a game, Heritage has lost 2 games, Warwick has lost a game, so the winner of this game is really in a catbird seat for the Peninsula District. Of course, Division 5, Division 6, well, that's a different story.
Right. Well, you got Division 5, you got 4 top teams, and you mentioned them, Phoebus, Warwick, Heritage, and Hampton. Division 6 is Bethel. So Bethel needs to keep a winning going on, too, so they can qualify and go on to the regionals at the Division 6 level. And with the insurgence of Jimmy Williams over there at quarterback, now he plays quarterback sometimes he plays wide receiver. They'll run from a shotgun. They will send trips to the one side. So Tracy is doing a lot of more innovative things than he has in the past. So that means defensively you got to be looking for different keys than you used to do with the Bruins.
And of course, Tracy succeeding Dennis Kozlowski as the coach had to take some time to get the team and his system in place, and he can be a little more innovative now because he does have some time in with the kids, with the system, and with his coaches. So I'm sure that's helping him be a little more flexible, if you will.
Well, that's true too, Tim, but he does have some new coaches this year. And that's one thing I have said over and over again. One thing that Hampton High has had over the past 20-some years is a solid coaching staff, anchored by not only Mike Smith, but Danny Mitchell and Alvis Mann. That group right there is a core that has not changed in 20-some years, and when you get that kind of continuity in your defense and offense and the way you're coaching, it makes things a lot easier. You can really look at some things that you wouldn't maybe look at maybe until 3 or 4 games into the season.
Well, right now let's go back in time talking about that core of coaches that have been together so long. Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers.
Mike, first of all, congratulations on a nice win over Heritage. That's always a big game. You guys did fine. Tonight you're playing a team, Bethel High School, undefeated early in the season. But, Bethel's always a good opponent.
Well, I don't know about Heritage being always a good game. Last year with 2 bad games the times before, we usually won all of them. But Bethel's certainly coming in here 3-0 and have played very well in all 3 of their football games. So they've got a good football team, playing well on both sides of the ball.
Right, and that's what I was going to ask you. Defensively, I thought you guys do an excellent job, but you got some kids that can flat run the football.
Well, we had to run it early because we weren't throwing it too well the second game, but we threw it better last week, and we got some guys that run pretty well. We're not real big, but we run pretty good, and I think that's probably been our saving point this time.
Right, now defensively, you feel your defense is where you want them this time of the year?
Well, you always want to get better.
Right.
I thought our defense has played very well in both scrimmages and for most part in all 3 ball games. Of course, in the Heritage game, we had a little breakdown there, but not many people can cover the ground like Michael Johnston, and when you give him a crease, then you have some problems. Then we turned the ball over twice down and then gave them a short field to work on. Other than that, we played pretty good on defense both times. We're young, got a lot of work to do. You know, we're going to get better. We've only got probably 3 seniors playing on that defensive team.
Well, that's good. Well, listen, good luck to you tonight.
All
Coach.
right, thanks, Bob.
Good enough.
You know, talking with Coach Smith and a little bit about the team, you got Jimmy Williams, a bit of a controversy there. He used to play for Hampton. Now he's the quarterback over at Bethel, like you said. But talking about that team, now you got Stephen Wyatt, who is the quarterback this year. He's got Alvin Banks and a stable of running mates. So you've got a real diversified attack. Stephen Wyatt runs the ball well. His passing is going to have to improve a little bit for him to be more effective to give that double threat.
Well, that's true. And the first game that we did, he didn't get a completed pass to his team. And last week they did complete some passes. So the weather, the wind, when we did that game, the wind was really bad. And if you're an inexperienced quarterback and you're trying to guide the ball, it's going to float on you. And I have a feeling that's what happened. He's got a lot more confidence after the game the other night. But you know, Tim, Hampton High won't have to get their kids up for this game with looking over on the other side and seeing Jimmy Williams, who played 2 years for him, started last year. You don't have to tell these kids, you want to hit that number 1 over there. I think they got that in their mind already.
Well, there never was any problem getting motivated for this battle anyway, but that just adds a little to it. And you and I talked about before the Heritage game that Hampton played, the revenge factor, and you kind of downplayed it, and I understand your point. But it really was a big factor there. And I think, quite frankly, I think Stephen Wyatt was a little pumped up, if you will, for that game, because it was so important to them to win that Heritage game, to regain that respect that they feel they might have lost.
Yeah, and I believe that too, because Mike told me, he said that was the worst game we ever played. He says we basically just did not function as a team. We did not do anything that we normally do, and we were embarrassed. And you know, you don't embarrass Mike's team, and those kids felt embarrassed, and they came out and they showed, you know, some caliber in the game, because they could have folded after they went behind, but they didn't. They stayed in there, and in a typical Hampton team, you know, we're going to bend a little bit, but you ain't going to beat us.
Well, now let's talk a little bit about Bethel before we go to the interview. Here you've got Jimmy Williams playing quarterback. You also got another quarterback that Tracy Parker is integrating back and forth into the game. And then, of course, you have Ananias Boyd, who, and again, I won't steal your thunder from your conversation with Tracy, but he's just been a mainstay on the peninsula seems like for years and years, but it's been a couple of years.
It's been a couple of years, and he's a shifty runner and a good runner. But what you do is if you're Hampton, you get to the hole where he is, you get him before he can turn his shoulders upfield and square his shoulders. You make contact with him before he can get out in the open and make some moves and make you miss. So don't let him get beyond the line of scrimmage. Hit him in the backfield. Let him get the short yardage, but nothing big.
Easier said than done.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go back in time right now as Bob had a chance to talk with Tracy Parker, the head coach of the Bethel Bruins.
Well, first of all, Tracy, congratulations, 3-0. Great start in the season. You hit Hampton early. People say it's good to catch Hampton early in the season because they get better as they go along, but I'm sure you figure you will too.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. Hampton's pretty good at any point during the season.
Right, so what do you look for them tonight? What kind of problems are they going to create for you?
Well, overall, they have good team speed, they have good size, and they're going to be a very good football team.
About you, now look at Bethel's side. If you were critiquing Bethel, where would you say your strong points were?
Probably in our running game right now. We're doing a pretty good job on the ground, and they can contain us there. I'm going to put them in a good position.
All right, now you got a young man, Ananias Boyd, who just has always, for the last few years, it seems like he's been the workhorse. Still a workhorse.
Oh, definitely, and he'll be the workhorse tonight too.
Passing game, you're using 2 quarterbacks. Is that a problem with timing with your team, or have they adjusted pretty well to it?
No, it's not a problem. That's something we work in practice, so it's just part of our regular game plan.
Good enough. Well, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
Good enough. Stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
Back here at Darling Stadium in Hampton, Tim Cole with Bob Hintz. We have the Bruins about to enter the field to our left, and the Hampton Crabbers will be coming up to our right as they are huddled in the end zone to our right. Bob, you and I hadn't mentioned anything about the weather, but it is a definite fall, crisp evening. A little bit of a breeze, but not too bad.
Well, nothing like we had with the Hampton Heritage game, Tim.
No, it was much too windy. Tonight's contest is brought to you by Zooms, your friendly neighborhood store with 14 Peninsula locations to serve you. By Pearls, located in Phoebus at 15 North Mallory. Give them a call at 722-1907. And in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the funeral director. They're located at Hampton Center Parkway. Give them a call at 827-4670.
And Tim, while I got a chance, I do want to mention that we will pick a player of the game from both of these teams tonight, and those players will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave at 596-8850. And Dave Buckwall, of course, is the owner. The shirt comes from the Islander Sporting Goods. They're located in Poquoson. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is owner. And I do want to take a moment to offer our condolences to Dave Buckwaller, who lost a brother to a heart attack a couple of weeks ago, just 52 years old. And our thoughts and prayers go to him.
Certainly do. You're looking at Carter Ficklin, who is the referee for tonight's contest. We'll give you all of the names of the officials in a moment. We'll have the ceremony at the center of the field momentarily, just before the kickoff for tonight's very important contest. And there you see the officials' names. Carter Ficklin is the referee. Chris Owens is our umpire. Chip McErlin is the linesman. Jim Mayhew, the line judge. Craig Moore, the field judge. The back judge is Gilbert Simon, and the clock operator is Tim Ewing. While we have a moment, as we see the teams coming in, just real quickly, I want to mention Craig Moore, who is a regular member of this squad, is here tonight. But Craig was a member of the regional FEMA response team that's been in the nation's capital supporting rescue efforts. Again, our hats off to him and all those brave individuals who have done such a great job.
And what a job they've done, Tim.
All right, let's go down to the field for the opening game ceremonies.
Clock operator, that will be Tim Ewing.
As I said, guys, I'm Mr. Ficklin, your referee. It's Mr. Owens. The other officials are Mr. Mayhew, Mr. Simon, Mr. McErlin, and Mr. Moore. The field clock's official unless we tell you otherwise. Purpose of identification, we can call Hampton white. We're going to call Bethel green. Guys, when there's a penalty, whichever captain's closer, come to me. I'm going to give you what I think's best for your team first. Remember, some penalties have as many as 3 options. But I'll give you what I think's best for your team first. But remember, I have to take the first thing you say. Guys, only one thing we want tonight is good, hard, clean football. If there's any talking between the teams, will you guys help us with that? Thank you for your help. Okay, Hampton has won the toss, and it's going to be receiving down here. Hampton has won the toss.
Hampton has won.
Good luck, captains. Have a good ball game.
All right, Hampton will get the ball, and we want to thank referee Ficklin, who is one of the better officials in the area. He certainly does a great job game in and game out.
Well, he does a great job helping us.
Yeah, and we appreciate his wearing that mic tonight,
yes,
so we can get those explained to you. I hear Scotty barely. I'm going to have to, I'm not sure. Did you hear what he said?
Nope.
No.
But while he's trying to talk to us, I will tell you that Hampton Channel 46 won an international award. This is the Telly Award, and it's a video that they submitted called Past, Present, and Future. And it, won the same award that was won by HBO, the Sci-Fi Channel, Touchstone Pictures, and Discovery Channel. And no other school channel in the country can qualify to say that they've won this award. But also want to tell you that they went on and won the Best of Show for the same video. It's a Platinum Aurora Award. Director Don Chiraus, editor Andy Foley, written and produced by Mike Nowinski, and executive producer Scotty Bowers. We do want to take our hats off to those gentlemen. What a great job, and really shows what the Hampton school system can do.
All right, we are set to get this one underway. We've got the ball teed up I believe Christopher Ellis is going to be our kickoff man here. I'm still waiting, or is it in fact? We'll get that for you in a minute. I can't figure out if it's 59 or 40, 55 or 49 is going to be.
Bethel should be kicking, should be 55.
All right, then that's who that is. That is number 55. Joseph Solomon. And you can hear referee Ficklin telling us why we're temporarily delayed. I think we're set to go now. Back deep to receive for the Crabbers, Stephen Wyatt and Alvin Banks. Kind of a swirling breeze, but not too bad tonight. And we are underway as the ball will be taken at the 10-yard line. This is Banks. Banks with some initial running room all the way out across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. So a fine position for Hampton.
What a nice wedge that the Crabbers, that the Crabbers showed there, and he just got behind his blockers, Tim, and found a seam. Picked up some nice yardage. Good return.
28-yard return, 50-yard kick.
28 yards on the return. We got a little music in the air.
Yeah, we're picking up a radio station tonight. Maybe it's just us picking it up.
Is that filling in the back? 37-yard line. Hampton 1st and 10. Just on 12-minute quarters in high school football, for those of you who may not be aware of that rule. And the initial play is a handoff and a loss by Banks as the defense was there. Here's the Hampton team on offense.
On center we have Thomas Wilson. The guards are Lamont Davis and Steve Williams. The tackles Travis Creighton and Edward Small. The tight end is 89 Darrell Allen. Flanker 11 William Jennings. The wide receiver Andre McGlone. Quarterback Stephen Wyatt. Fullback is who we have in there, 42 Solomon Bassett, and the number 8 Alvin Banks is the tailback.
Give you the Bruins on defense after they threw Hampton for a loss of almost 2. Wyatt, nothing. He is back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. In on the stop that time was number 54, Jonas Watson. And you see the Bruins on defense. Leto and Perry are your guards. The tackles are Overton and Ellis. Watson and Bates are the defensive ends. Jones and Solomon are the linebackers. Altman and Hill are your corners, and your safety is James Williams, also the quarterback, the young man who transferred from Hampton. 3rd down and about 11, a little more than 11 for the Crabbers, as the Bruins defense has stopped them cold on 2 plays. Wyatt wants to throw and overthrows, almost had it picked off. Jimmy Williams got a hand on it, but it was incomplete, intended for Terrence Bryant, number 89 for the Crabbers.
Tim, that ball did kind of float a little bit because the receiver, 89, wide open. Was that Darnell Allen was wide open, but the ball just went right over his head.
Yeah, do stand corrected. It's Darnell Allen, a number change for us here.
Yeah.
All right. Whitehead is back in deep punt formation as the Bruins just simply stuffed Hampton there. This one is high, not particularly long punt. Takes a Hampton bounce inside the Bruin 30, and it'll be down at the 29-yard line.
Tim, I got a chance. I do want to recognize the coaches for the Bethel Bruins. Head coach Tracy Parker, assisted by Mike Brown, Levi Wincanona, Jerry Jenkins, Alvin Lewis, Adrian Weidman, James Daniels, Wayne Jones, and Michael Mitchell. For the Crabbers, head coach Mike Smith, assisted by Elvis Mann, Danny Mitchell, Lanny Franklin, Kenny Gilliam, Brian Gerzak, Mike Hagens, Mike Norton, Myron Newsom, and Shannon Smith.
35-yard punt, no return on the punt play, and the Bruins will have it, and Williams will take it on the quarterback keeper. Ball came loose, but he was down at that point. Gain of about 3 out to the 33. Let's see exactly where they place it. Looks like they might actually give him forward progress almost to the 34. So call it a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. And we'll give you the starting offensive and defensive lineups. That shot, by the way, there we go. The Bruins on offense. The center is Simmons. The guards are Lewis and Lewis. Adams and Waterton are the tackles. The tight end Overton. Keene is the split end. Wide out is Sprite. Bates is the fullback. Boyd is the tailback. And Jimmy Williams is quarterback. 2nd and 6. And this is Spite, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage as he is thrown for a loss.
Yeah, lost a little bit there, Tim. We'll give you the Hampton defense.
Check, that's Derek Bates. I want to correct myself before you do that.
Okay. On defense for the Crabbers, we'll give that to you in just a second. There we go. Stephen Williams and Charles Jones at the tackles. The ends are Creighton and Johnson. The linebackers are Banks and Fenner. The outside linebackers, Callis and Schuler. The corners are Anthony Williams and Clayseld Brown. And the safety is Travis Richmond.
So the defense stops the Bruins for a yard loss on that play. Brings up 3rd down and about 7. Williams, play action, wants to pass, get some pressure. Rolling, looking, has a man open, got him at the 47-yard line down to the 44.
Flag, Tim.
But a flag down back around the line of scrimmage, or actually a little downfield. Let's see how they call this one.
I think number 77 is patting his chest, Tim. I think he was went downfield.
That's the signal from referee Ficklin, an illegal man downfield. Here's the replay. Won't be able to see it there. It was a fine running pass and catch by Spite from Williams, but it'll be nullified by the penalty.
Well, here Carter Ficklin will give us, and I know that hurts.
There was an eligible receiver down the field against the offense. Replay 3rd.
So the big gain, a 1st down in Hampton territory, is wiped out by the penalty. And now the Bruins will be faced with 3rd and 13. Bates alongside of Williams in the shotgun. Bates blocking well, and now Williams decides he's going to have to run with the ball, and he will go out of bounds across the 30 to about the 32-yard line, but it'll be 4th down and about 8 for the Bruins. So both defenses have come up big here early in the contest.
Tim, one thing I noticed that Jimmy Williams running with that ball, he was holding it out like a loaf of bread, and Tim, that can be real dangerous, as you know. That ball can be knocked out of your hands real easy. There's a nice shot.
Well, now,
fans,
who's standing on top of the stadium?
Yeah, Tim, and I'm getting dizzy.
That is our blimp cam. Oh, a line drive right to Banks at the 35. Good downfield pursuit by the Bruins, but he gets away from them initially and picks up about a 5-yard return. But for a moment there, it looked like he was trapped and made something out of nothing.
He sure did, Tim. He made some nice moves, made a couple potential tacklers miss. Pearls has been in business since 1947, and they have it all. Drapes, carpets, tile, vinyl, blinds, both mini and vertical, custom designed for your needs. Give Pearls a call. They're located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. The number is 722-1907.
Kenneth Hopkins, as you saw in the replay, doing a nice job of tackling Alvin Banks at the 45-yard line, where the Crabbers, after the change of possession, will gain some field position. Low snap, handoff to Banks, and he gets a yard. That's about all, as both teams' defense has dominated the early play here.
Really have, and you know, the coaches on both sides, Tim, are going to be making some adjustments, not only during halftime, but also during this first half with the spotters up here in the press box for both teams.
I didn't get a chance to mention, but both of these teams have come in off of the first 3 games they've played. Of course, they're both undefeated, but they have had real good offense. Hampton averaging right at 40 points a game, and the Bruins 28 points a game. But so far, it's been a defensive battle for the first 5.5 minutes. Flag down in the backfield as Wyatt picks up a couple of yards, actually maybe a yard out to the 47. But a penalty flag in the area that you would probably think you'd see illegal motion.
Yeah, Tim, and I believe that's exactly what happened. The flag was thrown by Carter Ficklin.
Here's the replay. See if you can detect the motion.
Yeah. I didn't see the motion. Must have been.
It looked like perhaps Banks might have moved his foot from the. Yeah, just right after he moved. So.
Yeah.
They're going to discuss the options.
Oh, they're going to take a penalty, yeah. Well, I don't know if you would have done that or not, Tim, because he really lost a couple yards.
Yeah, it'd be 3rd down and basically 10.
It was motion against the offense. Replay 2nd down.
So instead of 3rd and 10, it'll be 2nd down and about 14. So 6 of one and a half a dozen the other.
Tim, the Hampton's basically been playing out of the shotgun.
So they're marking the ball at the Hampton 41. No score here in the first quarter. And out of the shotgun, this is Wyatt. Wyatt is such an elusive runner. He is hard to bring down as they finally get him at the 49-yard line. But he picks up about 8 yards on the play.
I was going to say, that was a nice run to pick up a good 8 yards.
But you're right, both teams have really taken the snap in every play from both sides of the ball from the shotgun. So they mark it at the Hampton 49, and it does bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Crabbers. About halfway through the first quarter, 6:34, and the clock is moving. No score. Hampton and Bethel. This game videotaped on the 28th of September, the year 2001. Out of the gun. Wyatt's got a man hit. He completes the pass at the Bruin 37-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Crabbers. That was Will Jennings on the receiving end of a very fine-looking pass. Wyatt looked a whole lot better on that pass than he did in Italy that he did.
Right, you notice really showed some confidence. We just stood back in the pocket, watched this, just sit there and just made a nice throw, Tim. Didn't try to guide it or anything. And Will Jennings from his flanker position just run a down and in and was wide open. And the Crabbers receivers have been open every game that we've done this year.
And to Wyatt's defense, the wind was a serious issue in that Heritage game.
Well, and you need to make sure that the fans understand that Heritage never completed a pass either, Tim, other than to the other team. So,
right.
I mean, it was both quarterbacks.
First down of the ball game. This is a fake as Wyatt comes to the near side and then is drilled on a nice play by Derek Bates, who's a two-way player for the Bruins. He did a good job of preventing Wyatt from picking up big yardage. As it is, he picked up a good 5.5, second down and 5.
Watch this. He comes from his defensive end position, Tim, and it was a nice fake in there.
Yeah, he actually got a little bit tangled up with Banks for a moment. But that was a nice-looking play, is right. Well, so Wyatt has really been impressive as a running quarterback. And, of course, this is my second time to see him play this year. He was a superb runner out of the tailback position previously.
Well, Tim, and also if he can get his confidence in passing, that's really going to open up this offense for the Crabbers. And here we got just like a student body to the right side.
And Alvin Banks takes the student body to the first down at the Bruin 25-yard line.
What a great job following your blockers that time. Banks, Tim, didn't try to outrun his blockers. Got that first down, very important. Move the chains. You're down in Bethel territory. You're putting the pressure on their defense. And, you know, and all the games that we've done is we watch the replay, see how he does the cut in here. But if you can score first, that's a psychological boost.
Absolutely. Banks is a big kid, number 8, 5'11", 200 plus. Banks splits in the backfield now and winds up in a flanker position. And this is a straight run up the middle.
That was your fullback, Tim. What they did, now if you look at Bethel's in a 6-man line and they bring the 2 linebackers up, so if they get them real close, it's like an 8-man line.
That was Darylyn Fenner who carried the ball for the Crabbers.
So we'll have 2 fullbacks back there. Darylyn Fenner, number 44, and number 42, Solomon Bassett.
Who's coming in as we speak.
We get sometimes, you know, our numbers get confused.
These are a lot easier to see than their dark uniforms with the white numbers. These are pretty much easier for us old guys to see. Second down and about 8. On the option, this is Wyatt, and Wyatt is down close to the 16-yard line. Needs to cross the 15 for a first down, so it'll be 3rd and short for the Crabbers.
Tim, I don't know if you saw that or not. We'll have it on replay, but he made the fake and then took off, and one of the linemen actually looked like he's got a hold of him right there.
Yeah.
he just ran out of his grasp.
He's so quick. 3rd down and short. 3rd down and a little more than 1. Need to get across or to the 14-yard line to get the chains moved, and now they call a timeout. Don't know whether
trying to draw off.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so, Tim. I really believe that's what they were trying to do.
Well, our good just going to mention Zooms with their Beantown coffee. I could use some coffee tonight. It's chilly out here. This is football weather tonight, buddy.
I tell you, Zooms will have your coffee and your pizzas and your
the
subs and the whole thing. The chicken is great.
Let me tell you, I got a real urge for some fried chicken tonight. You know, every now and then it just happens. I've been staying away.
You want me to call them, tell them you're going to get the big bucket ready?
Oh no, I
don't mean the little. I mean the bucket.
I said tonight. It was the other night. I called my wife. I said, you know, what do you want to have for dinner? She says, takeout, reservation, something like that. And I said, I'm really jonesing for some fried chicken. So.
You drove right by it, stopped, and got
I stopped, and it was all ready, and it was fresh, and I had some potato wedges and took it home. I was a bad boy. It was good.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about our people tonight. Instant replay, Andre Mattingly on cameras, Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, and Ron Baton. Engineer Don Charaus, graphics and audio, Andy Foley, director Scotty Bowers, and we got Juan Brown and Desiree Lewis doing the
mobile cable technician.
There you go. And Mike Nowinski is helping out somewhere.
Well, we have another guy too, don't we? Don't we have the blimp guy?
Brad the blimp guy.
Yeah. Let's not forget Brad.
Yeah. They had all kinds of names
the blimp guys.
Yeah. Well, used to call us the blimp trio, but it was just two of us. But they were calling Brad all kinds of things. But I said we're just going to call him Brad the blimp guy.
Well, while we were having fun with that, the Crabbers got the first down as they are close to the 13. Call it between the 13 and 14.
And that's Brad Sindel.
And it is a first down.
Whoa.
And this is good defensive stop in the backfield as the Crabbers were nailed at the point of handing the ball off. That is Bassett.
Yeah, but he was hit by, it looked like 54.
Because that's not the first time I've seen that already, as Jonas Watson came up there to stop him cold. In fact, threw him for about a yard loss. So Bassett, the fullback, in the middle of the line and nothing happening as the Bruin defense stiffens.
Really
Second
did.
down and about, let's call it 10. Might have lost a half a yard on the play. Out of the gun. Strong right side, Wyatt, and he is stopped after a short gain. That almost looked like a wing tee. They had like three.
Almost like a single wing.
Single wing, yeah, that's what I was saying. Not wing tee, a single wing to the right like that because he had everybody slotted.
Tim, the blimp is owned and operated by Crow's Nest Photography. Crow's Nest Photography.
As you watch the replay, ball is marked at the 12-yard line. It brings up third down and a long 8, short 9 for the Crabbers. They can, of course, get a first down without scoring. Wyatt, quick slant, got his man, touchdown.
Man, was right open, Tim. They gave him an awful lot of cushion.
Andre McClone was wide open.
What a great job. Nice pass by Stephen Wyatt.
That was a beautiful pass. Wyatt timed that one perfectly, and when you do that on that play, it'll be successful more often than not. It's just too hard to defend.
Well, and you give the wide receiver that much of a cushion, Tim. The defensive end didn't start coming in tight to him until the ball was in the end zone.
Whitehead tacks on the extra point, and Hampton, with 1:06 remaining in the first quarter, takes a 7-0 lead on the touchdown pass from Stephen Wyatt to Andre McClone, as we'll get a chance to watch it again at the very end of it here, as you see McClone already in the end zone with the ball before contact is made. How many yards was that pass?
That was, looked like, what about 10, 12, what was that? Because you said they could pick up a first down without getting into the end zone. So what did he say it was?
12 yards.
12 yards. Very good.
So that is the initial score. Hampton.
That's a quick first quarter.
Yeah, it moved along pretty quickly. Do a lot of running plays and some completed passes. Seemed like that Hampton Heritage game was just an extremely long game. There's again our shot from the blimp. Working on that and get the overall, just to give you a little different perspective. That's probably, Scotty, about 50 feet up in the air?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. Good guess.
It's higher than I want to be right now.
All right, under 50. Whitehead nails the kickoff.
150.
150. All the way back to the 3-yard line. And a good-looking return out across the 25-yard line. That is Curfew Spite who returned the ball for the Bruins. They'll mark it at the 28-yard line, 150 feet in the air. So
that was a nice kick by
Whitehead. Yeah.
Whitehead. If the ball is caught in the end zone, Tim, they can't run it out.
Right. About a 25-yard return. Took it at 3 out to the 28. Williams. And this is Ananias Boyd, and he does not get anything. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, if that.
Tim, young number 9 for the Crabbers, and that's Wilson Banks Jr., one of the linebackers, caught him, almost in the backfield. He got back to the line of scrimmage, but Ananias Boyd is one of those, if you remember, I was talking earlier that you got to get him before he can get in the open. And the one way you're going to do it is you got quick linebackers.
Bruins have the play being brought in by Eric Carr. They're going to have to hurry, though, because they are rapidly running out of time on the 25-second clock.
Running trips to the top of the field, Tim.